I finally figured it out. Everybody always asks, like, what's one thing I should be working on in my business, or, what should I focus on, or what's the one thing that I really need to do to, get successful or grow this business, or whatever kind of the challenge might be. Everybody's looking for that one thing. And I think I finally put my finger on it. I'm Stephen Taylor. This is WeeklyST. It's a video series. It's all about my thoughts and ideas on living a wholly successful life in business, in life, in everything we do, not just success for the sake of success, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So a business needs to grow first and foremost, right? You have to have sales, you have to have revenue, and you have to be growing, otherwise you're probably dying. And most businesses should be growing, 5 or 10% just as is, right? If you're not, you're probably falling behind inflation, the economy, other businesses, things like that. And those that really set good goals and put in good teams, especially with sales and marketing, are probably growing 10, 15, or even 20%. 20% is some of the fastest growing businesses in the US, if you can do it year after year after year. And quite often we find ourselves in that bucket. 20% will double you every 3 years. Sales and marketing becomes this really super important thing in an organization. It's probably, one of the biggest investments that the business will make in good talent, good team, but then also in advertising and marketing budgets and things like that. Really, there's, all sorts of different funnels that you can go after. You want to have, great referrals coming in, and you can market in your business for that. You want to have a good web strategy, and maybe that's SEO, or maybe it's some pay-per-click, maybe it's getting into Facebook ads or Instagram ads. Good organic, so it's SEO and Facebook and social, all that stuff to, again, drive traffic to the website organically and drive sales that way. And then even just building out a sales team. Some of the most successful IT businesses and their growth has been because they installed a sales team. It didn't solely rely on the owner, who typically will just wait around for referrals and can go close those deals. But a business that puts in a sales team whose sole job every single day, 40 hours a week, is to focus on sales will put forth way more growth than a business that doesn't. So all these things around, sales and marketing. But another super important thing in business is having good talent, right? And so you want to constantly be recruiting and advertising open positions. And sometimes you're hiring for positions that you might not even have yet, right? Hey, on the horizon, we're going to need another account manager or an account manager altogether. So let's put out that job ad now, because like we've talked about in the last video, you're not necessarily going to be able to say, oh my God, I need somebody right now, and then go to hiring and recruiting and be able to find that person in a timely fashion. You'll be behind the 8 ball. And so it's a constant recruiting process that's happening, that you're always out there looking for talented people, and you're hiring for roles you don't even have yet that you may need in the next 6 to 12 months. You're hiring for roles you may have already filled, or you might need more seats later on. And so you've always got these job ads out there, and you're always recruiting and interviewing and meeting with people. And as the leader, it's probably an even better idea to always be networking and kind of be on the lookout. You might meet somebody at your Starbucks barista, and oh my gosh, this person every single Tuesday when I'm in here is on the ball. They remember my name, great customer service, and you might want to pull that person into your organization as well. And so always being on the lookout for new talent in recruiting. When my team is off, it probably leads with me. There might be something off with myself, and I need to show up and make sure that I'm, again, the consistently encouraging others as the CEO, right? It's my job to lead with, a positive mentality and how I want to see the others follow along as well. And so culture is an ongoing, always thing, and it really has to be our responsibility as the leader of our organizations. Certainly you can have people supporting role in that to help out, but it's going to lead with you. And Part of that is accountability, right? You've got to be able to hold your teams accountable. Hey, these are the numbers we want to hit. This is what we're looking for, and making sure that everyone resonates with the company values. And again, in your hiring and recruiting process, all these things. So culture, hugely important, especially as you get past the 3 to 5 people mark and you're not necessarily interfacing with each team member on a daily basis. Culture and finding a way to touch base with these team members throughout the week, and not kind of letting people go by the wayside, and making sure you're there to support them but also hold them accountable. Another super important tenet in business is your operations, right? And I think that that's something, again, that's on an ongoing basis. We grew up giving really good customer service, and that's what led us to grow and get more business, but there's always a way to improve on that and adapt to what your customers want. And so our operations and improving our process and becoming more efficient, we've done a great job with automation and efficiency, where then we don't have to hire more people necessarily. We can get more done with the same team, or by adding the right team members instead of billing and payroll people I see in businesses all the time. And I'm like, man, it can be so automated nowadays with either software or, payroll systems, or even outsourced, right? Where then you don't need to have a full-time person potentially doing maybe some part-time work or part-time roles, and then they're wearing 6 different hats. For us, we don't have a lot of those admin roles because we've learned to automate it. And so always finding ways to use software or technology to, improve your process or automate. And then even from your standard operating procedures, hey, how can we improve this process? Where are the hurdles, or where's the time suck? And so I spend some time in that as well, trying to get rid of the roadblocks, whether it's for a full team or just a team member, finding more efficiencies in our operations in the business. When you first start a business, everything relies on you, but you've got to learn to delegate, outsource, trust team, empower team, and bring other people in to do other things, because you can't, we've been talking about all these different tenets. How the hell can one person take care of 7 different departments? It's not possible. It's not scalable. And so a lot of businesses, especially in the IT realm, right, they hit this ceiling. They can't seem to get their way through. And every time I see it or hear about it, it's the owner kind of not being able to get out of their own way, right? And so for me, I think the reason why we've been able to scale a little bit quicker than most is because I got out of my own way. I found a right-hand man. I enable people, I trust them, and I just say, hey, you got to get this job done now. I give them that runway too. A lot of people, I want to do it myself. I want to make sure it's perfect. I don't want anybody to make mistakes, things like that. And I'm just like, well, whatever, it's fine. They'll figure it out. Very rarely has a, colossal mistake ever been made, right? Usually it's simple stuff. And yeah, maybe a customer gets frustrated or a ball gets dropped here and there. But I think that team member then learns a huge lesson, the trust and the empower and the autonomy of them to be able to, do that role moving forward is huge. And it helps me to then get out of the way to focus on all of these other things in the business. People I think are constantly, barraged with these 1,900 things, and like, well, how am I supposed to work on my business, not just in it? And I make the joke, I'm like, every time I'm on vacation or out of the office, that's when a new customer signs up. All right, we kind of have this ongoing thing. I'm always excited to leave because I'm like, all right, somebody's going to say yes, and we figure it out and we're able to do it. And it's interesting how many growing, successful businesses and their owners are out of the office for periods of time. Maybe it's the vacation thing, maybe it's just a week or 2 off, maybe it's for me, these quarterly sky retreats and getting away, or being a part of a bigger organization like EO or the peer groups that we have in our industry. We're oftentimes out of the office, but that's some of the best work that we're doing because it gives us clarity and focus, and we can really think through the problems and the challenges and come up with way better solutions, versus if you're just sitting in the day-to-day in the grind, you can't think above the business or outside of the business. You're only thinking about the here and now. And I think so often, so many business owners are, I'm too busy, I can't do anything else. It's almost like a negative cycle that they can't seem to get their way out of. You almost need to remove yourself and say, I've got to take a full day out of this business. I've got to take a full week And the beauty in that is, like, set yourself a goal, right? Say that in 6 months on, March 20th, I'm gonna take a week off and I'm gonna go on vacation. Maybe it is for you because you haven't done that in years. Or maybe it's I'm gonna take a retreat or a think week and I'm gonna do nothing but think about the business, think about my life, where I wanna be, all of these things. Because again, I'm more about wholly successful. It's not just solely focused on the business, but when you set that goal and you say, I'm going to do this, it's funny, everything will kind of fall into order and you'll figure it out in that next 6 months or next 12 months. And you'll manage to take that week off and you'll be able to turn your phone off and enjoy that vacation or that think retreat or really get to spend time on your business or spend time with your family, whatever it might be. Set a crazy, ridiculous goal. What's the one thing in your business that you've kind of struggled with or have challenges with it? Leave a comment below and we'll try and help you navigate that. Like, share, and subscribe for more. Put me in your top 8.